Cyra and Ija had to yank Akos in by both arms because he was too small to climb on his own. Nobody bothered with safety belts. "To the temple!" their dad cried, his fist in the air. He always said that when they went to the temple, sort of like cheering for a boring lecture or a long line on voting day. If only we could bottle that excitement and sell it to all of Thuvhe. Most of them I see just once a year, and then only because there's food and drink waiting for them. Their mom drawled with a faint smile. "There's your solution then," I just said. "Entice them with food all season long." "The wisdom of children," their mom said, poking the ignition button with her thumb. The floater jerked them up and forward, so they all fell into each other. Ija punched Akos away from him, laughing. The lights of Hesse twinkled up ahead. Their city wrapped around a hill, the military base at the bottom, the temple at the top, and all the other buildings in between. The temple, where they were headed, was a big stone structure with a dome, made of hundreds of panes of colored glass, right in the middle of it. When the sun shone on it, Hesse's peak glowed orange-red, which meant it almost never glowed. The floater eased up the hill, drifting over stony Hesse, as old as their nation planet. Thuvhe, as everyone but their enemies called it, a word so slippery off-worlders tended to choke on it. Half the narrow houses were buried in snowdrifts. Nearly all of them were empty. Everybody who was anybody was going to the temple tonight. "See anything interesting today?" their dad asked their mom as he steered the floater away from a particularly tall wind meter poking up into the sky. It was spinning in circles. Akos knew by the tone of his dad's voice that he was asking their mom about her visions. Every planet in the galaxy had 3 oracles, one rising, one sitting, like their mother, and one falling. Akos didn't quite understand what it meant, except that the current whispered the future in his mom's ears, and half the people they came across were in awe of her. "I may have spotted your sister the other day," their mom started. "Doubt she'd want to know, though. She just feels the future ought to be handled with the appropriate respect for its weight." Their mom's eyes swept over Akos, Ija, and Cyra in turn. "This is what I get for marrying into a military family, I guess," she said eventually. "You want everything to be regulated, even my current gift. You'll notice that I flew in the face of family expectation and chose to be a farmer, not a military captain," their dad said. "And my sister doesn't mean anything by it. She just gets nervous, that's all." Their mom said, like that wasn't all. Cyra started humming, a melody Akos had heard before, but couldn't say from where. His sister was looking out the window, not paying attention to the bickering, and a few ticks later his parents' bickering stopped, and the sound of her hum was all that was left. Cyra had a way about her, their dad liked to say, an ease. The temple was lit up, inside and out. Strings of lanterns, no bigger than Akos's fist, hanging over the arched entrance. There were floaters everywhere, strips of colored light wrapped around their fat bellies, parked in clusters on the hillside or swarming around the domed roof in search of a space to touch down. Their mom knew all the secret places around the temple, so she pointed their dad toward a shadowed nook next to the refectory, and led them in a sprint to a side door that she had to pry open with both hands. They went down a dark stone hallway, over rugs so worn you could see right through them, and past the low, candlelit memorial for the Thuvhe who had died in the Shotet invasion before Akos was born. He slowed to look at the flickering candles as he passed the memorial. Ija grabbed his shoulders from behind, making Akos gasp, startled. He blushed as soon as he realized who it was, and Ija poked his cheek, laughing. "I can tell how red you are even in the dark." "Shut up," Akos said. "Ija," their mom chided, "don't tease." She had to say it all the time.